Sometimes life doesn't break you with a single storm. It breaks you slowly, through limits you never chose, rules you never agreed to, and expectations that tighten around your chest piece by piece, day after day. People think silence means acceptance, but inside that silence, something else is happening. A spark, a vibration, a restlessness that starts to move beneath the skin. Because when life squeezes a human being too hard, it doesn't just create pain. It creates pressure, and pressure is the birthplace of something unexpected. Frustration has a strange nature. Most people see it as anger, but deep inside, it is a collision of dreams, dreams that refuse to die, even when everything around you feels stuck. When people feel unheard, they begin to express. When they feel unseen, they begin to create. When they feel powerless, they begin to imagine a new world that feels larger than the one they're trapped in. This is the moment where pain quietly transforms into poetry, into jokes, into bold lines, into truth written on walls, into art that speaks louder than their voices ever could. This is not protest. This is survival. History tells us a strange truth. The tighter a society closes its hands, the faster ideas slip through its fingers. Human beings were never built for limits, not emotional, not social, not intellectual. So when boundaries become too tight, the mind does something magical. It begins to imagine worlds where freedom can still breathe. A simple sentence becomes a message. A joke becomes a protest. A quote becomes a mirror. A drawing becomes a doorway. A viral line becomes a heartbeat shared by thousands who suddenly feel understood. Creation becomes the language of those who feel they cannot speak. And then something happens. One person's frustration turns into another person's relief. Someone writes a line in pain, and a stranger reads it and whispers, "This is what I've been feeling." That is the moment individual pain becomes collective awareness. No anger, no violence, just people finding each other through words, ideas, art, humor, truth. Because creativity is the only rebellion that heals as it rises. Every time a society tries to silence expression, it unknowingly strengthens it. Pressure does not kill imagination. Pressure sharpens it. And so, from difficult homes, from tired cities, from people who feel stuck between limits and dreams, a new wave of voices quietly rises. Gentle voices, honest voices, creative voices, voices that don't fight with violence, but with clarity. These voices remind the world of a simple truth. You can control someone's environment, but you can never control their inner universe. And it is in that inner universe that real revolutions begin. So the next time you see a powerful line, a viral quote, a funny sentence that carries deep truth, remember, it was not written out of anger. It was born out of pressure that turned into expression that turned into connection. This is how humans survive. This is how societies change. And this is how creativity is born, not in comfort, but in tight spaces. If something in this message touched a quiet corner of your life, if even one line felt like it understood the weight you've been carrying, then don't let this moment fade. We all go through phases where the world feels smaller than our dreams, where pressure builds in places no one else can see, and where creativity becomes the only doorway to breathe. And yet, in these moments, we do not break. We unfold. If you want more reflections that help you understand your inner world, more stories that remind you that you're not alone in your struggles, more guidance that turns pressure into strength, then subscribe, not for this channel, but for the part of you that is learning to expand again. Share this message with someone who may be living quietly in their limits, someone who needs a gentle reminder that their voice still matters, that their thoughts still deserve space. And leave a comment, not for numbers, but for connection. Someone out there may need the words you carry. Here, in this space, we choose becoming better over the weight we carry inside, understanding over judgment, and soft courage over silence. When life feels tight, don't hide inside yourself. Walk with us. We rise here, slowly, softly, together,